In today's video, we'll be discussing the conspiracy theories that are going around in regards to the Ekuegan situation, and thankfully these are not being spearheaded by me. This was an article from Paul Tassi. I am not the conspiracy theory lead in the Destiny 2 community anymore, okay? I know I brought up a big issue with the character deletion bug, and I still think that that's a real thing, and Bungie still hasn't responded to that, but we're not here to talk about that. Instead, we're going to talk about this article written by Paul Tassi and some of the theories that are being thrown out there in regards to what happened with the Ekuegan situation, why he was banned for breaking his NDA. If you don't know what happened, basically he was invited to the summit and video was recorded on his screen and sent to leakers within the Destiny community, so he was therefore banned by Bungie for spreading this information. However, he claims his innocence. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Something doesn't add up with the Destiny 2 leaker accusation from Paul Tassi. We have on Saturday, I published a piece detailing what's been going behind the scenes after Bungie publicly declared that someone who attended a recent community summit was behind the large leak of a Season 21 and beyond information. Rumors started circulating that it was one specific person, a well-known streamer, Ekuegan, so I simply asked him about it. He confirmed that Bungie had in fact accused him of being responsible for the leak and subsequently banned him from the game. He fervently denies leaking anything both publicly and privately. My piece yesterday was meant to convey only the facts of the situation. I really tried to keep my opinion out of it, but something bothers me about the story, and today I feel like I need to give my thoughts on this. Namely, because I don't think he did it. Very interesting. This situation puts everyone in such a strange position because you're either Team Bungie or you're Team Ekuegan, and obviously a lot of people in the community who know him well know that he's a good guy, and so a lot of people want to take his side and believe that he wouldn't do something like this. However, in doing so, you basically put yourself at odd ends against Bungie, and you're saying that Bungie, for whatever reason, didn't do their proper research and falsely banned him, which is also a very difficult thing to do because no one really wants to burn their bridges with Bungie, and I don't think that anyone would accuse Bungie of trying to target Ekuegan in any of this. Clearly, they just saw the evidence that was given before them. They did some of their research, at least we don't know exactly what they did, but they did enough of the research to know that it was him according to their systems and decided to take action against him. But let's continue further. In this article we have, I personally do not believe Ekuegan is the leaker. However, I do believe the Ekuegan's computer was used to leak the information in question, namely the photographs of the slides, which would make Bungie's actions inevitable. So it was EK's computer being used, but maybe it wasn't EK responsible. Let's see what we have here. The second point I think is pretty irrefutable. Bungie's main point of evidence was that the icons on his desktop match icons seen in a leaked screenshot. They do. Actually twice, as one screenshot shows the desktop and then a recording of the desktop with all of the icons indicating the presentation was recorded, then later played back to take the photos. Ekuegan wondered if someone in a leak's Discord may have photoshopped the icon bar to frame him. While not impossible, I don't think that's what happened. I believe it's possible that instead someone had access to his computer, but I'll get back to that in a minute. So it appears as though we're going to go down the route of looking into the possibilities of, did someone hack into Ekuegan's computer and were they able to screen share, screen record, screenshot various different slides and video from this community summit event, which, while I will say it's not entirely an impossibility, it does seem a little far-fetched. I mean, that would be a pretty crazy and elaborate hack job in order to be able to do this, and I don't even know if this is possible. Like, I don't really understand how hacking of this nature would work. Like, was this person literally able to see Ekuegan's screen at all times? Or are they able to just record the stuff? I don't even know if this software exists. I'm sure to some capacity people can phish your different information. They can, hack into your computer in some ways, but to create an entire scenario where someone has maliciously and specifically targeted Ekuegan to record his screen and do all of this just to take him down does seem a bit far-fetched, but that's what a conspiracy theory is, and we're going to go through the rest of the evidence so that way we can get the full picture here. First, I think we have to start with Ekuegan himself, namely the question of motive, in which there is zero. That was one point he reiterated to me privately, was the question of why someone with 14,000 hours in the game, basing their career on GM chirping and strategizing, leak something like this. Which again is a fair point, that he doesn't seem to have any sort of motives to do this. However, the evidence is weighing against him. So the argument of, well, because he has no motive, therefore he's innocent, isn't really going to hold up as much. You're definitely going to have to find some counter evidence to show that you have been in some ways maliciously attacked. You have some, hacks on your PC has been compromised. We need something more. We need some actual tangible evidence, because as it stands right now, we have these screenshots and these video recordings, and all of the evidence weighs in very heavily against you. And so the argument of, well, I have no motive to do it, so therefore I'm innocent, doesn't really hold too much weight to me. But let me know your thoughts down below if you agree or disagree. Again, I'm not trying to make Ekuegan look bad in this situation or anything. I'm just trying to be as objective as possible and look at all of the information that's given before us to try and make the most reasonable conclusion. They then go on to say, why would someone who has been to 4 summits suddenly decide to record and leak this one now? Ekuegan now faces a permanent game ban from Bungie and has to pivot to entirely new games, and the accusation may affect his future partnerships with other studios. And the idea that this was for clout makes no sense, considering it was first done anonymously and Ekuegan himself is already a well-established community figure. Which again, while I think phrased in this situation does seem to make a lot of sense, like he doesn't have any motive to do this. However, the similar argument could be made for any and all of the content creators that go to these summits. I mean, why would any of them ever care to have the motive to give information to leakers? Leakers don't pay any money for any of this stuff. Leakers don't make any money from any of this stuff. And content creators would lose literally everything. They would lose your account in Destiny 2. You would gain no money. There's no reason for any content creator to ever leak information from these community summits. But really the issue isn't of motive, because we know that motive doesn't exist for any of the content creators. Really the issue is just the evidence. And I think that that's where the focal point needs to be placed. And that's where, if Ekuegan is going to win this, if Ekuegan is going to beat this, if he's claiming his innocence as he is, and if he's actually going to prove his innocence, he's going to have to focus on evidence, not on motive. Many streamers have either come out to support Ekuegan or at the very least expressed extreme surprise that it could be him. Given their only positive interactions with him in the past, others seem to have some sort of idea that Ekuegan took photos and shared them with a friend or a small circle, and then that person leaked them online and gave the info to a Discord leaker, Freezing Dart. I don't think that this is true either, as Ekuegan kept reiterating to me over and over that he did not take the photos, offering up his phone to be audited, saying that he has a high quality iPhone and the picture quality is terrible, saying that if he was taking screenshots, he would have used the snipping tool like he always does. He is very clear in saying not only did he not leak anything, he also did not take any photos. Also, he says he's never heard of Freezing Dart, and Freezing Dart says that he doesn't know Ekuegan and didn't get the info from him. Which is a very interesting point to make, that he says he has no affiliation or connection to Freezing Dart, which doesn't completely make him innocent in the situation. But what is very interesting in this is that Ekuegan is losing his entire career potentially from this, and Freezing Dart has basically all of the information and everything at his disposal. It would be very nice if Freezing Dart would come out with a bigger statement and expressing more, revealing who sent them the leaks and everything, because at this point in time, Freezing Dart has all of the potential to save Ekuegan's career here, it would seem, and they're choosing to be relatively silent, at least from what I've seen. If Freezing Dart did reveal the source in which they received these videos and these photos, then that could potentially put this entire thing to rest. But now let's get into what Paul thinks is the potential theory as to what happened in the situation. So what I think happened is that someone accessed Ekuegan's computer. This could be someone doing so in real life. This could be someone he trusts with access to his personal info, or a PC, a mod, who knew he was attending the summit. This could be an outside malicious actor who somehow installed remote desktop malware on his PC through him clicking on some rogue link at some point or something. While these are possibilities, this does seem like some pretty crazy CIA level shit just to get onto a Destiny streamer's PC to see a little snippet of Season 21. It does seem a bit extreme, but I mean, I'm not willing to deny any of this as plausible. So let's move on to the next part. The first two options seem the most likely to me. I do not know Ekuegan's roommates, so I am not accusing them directly, but I know they work in the gaming industry, and the idea is not wholly impossible. Ekuegan looking at his roommates later tonight. The reasons this thought occurs to me because of a bizarre situation that happened back in my college days. A girl I knew had bad photos of her leaked and posted online. Only one person had the photos, her ex-boyfriend, and everyone assumed he posted them, but he was equally freaked out, and an investigation eventually revealed that it was a friend and roommate who had taken the photos from his PC without his knowledge and posted them. I'm just saying crazy things can happen with people you trust, whether that's IRL friends or online acquaintances. Paul Tassi is really out here dredging up revenge porn stories from his college days to help get EK off the hook. And honestly, I respect it. Fundamentally, I just don't understand why someone who has attended loads of past summits, has signed many NDAs for many projects, and whose entire career is based on this game would risk leaking like this for zero benefit. While it may have been his PC, I do not think Ekuegan himself did it. I cannot prove that, and neither can he right now, but I've advised him to look into all of these other avenues. The Bungie side of this is more complicated. If this is in fact Ekuegan's PC, which it does seem to be, you would understand why they went to so far as to ban him. While they didn't do this publicly, Ekuegan saying he could no longer play Destiny the day Bungie talked about the Summit leak did make it pretty clear. The problem is that Bungie has told him that even if what I'm saying above did happen, and Ekuegan did personally leak anything, that is still technically breaking the NDA by failing to secure the information, and that they'd take the same action. I think the main problem here is that maybe these events probably just should not be digital anymore, and they'll need to go back to flying people out to view things in secure rooms in the studio like they used to. I've asked Bungie for comment on Ekuegan's claims of innocence, but have not heard back. They've previously said they consider the matter closed. This is my opinion on this after trying to post just the facts of what was happening yesterday. I will leave the possibility open that I could be wrong, but it just doesn't make sense to me, and I think there are other options between he did it and someone photoshopped a screenshot to frame him, but the end result appears to be the same. If he did not do it, I hope the evidence comes to light soon. And there you have it. That is the news story for today. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think that Ekuegan's PC was hacked or compromised to some degree? Or do you think that he is guilty of doing these things? Either way, he would technically be banned for breaking the NDA, but I think there could be some special consideration if his PC was hacked. Obviously, it would not be his fault. And also, a lot of people have been conveying that maybe he should just be banned from ever going to another community summit. Being banned in-game is a very extreme response from Bungie, and perhaps we should at least let him play Destiny 2, but he just can no longer go to community summits because he messed up and broke his NDA. Let me know your thoughts about that down in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all the news and drama in Destiny 2. I'll see you in the next one. Later.